Hello, Inner Sanctum SuperCoach followers, with the 100 or so that's still with us at this point of the season. All four of us back on board to take a look at round 15 already, the last of the bye rounds. Mike, how you doing, mate? And how'd your team go?
Yeah, going really well actually. I finally had a couple of league wins, which was nice. I was looking to have a clean sweep, but my opposition beat me. I actually beat him by 1 point, and then when it adjusted, he beat me by one
Uh,
point because
that's
he had the Bont who scored 70 something in the last quarter or some bullshit. So
that's the worst. Yeah, Dan, how you doing, mate? How'd your team fare?
Yeah, not too bad. 4 from 4 this week, and definitely good to see Carlton actually play some good footy on the weekend against the best team in the competition, the Gold Coast Suns. So yeah, it was really good to watch us step up against a quality opposition.
That's it. Well, you're the only one whose team had a win in this group, considering a couple had the bye. At least they didn't lose the Eagles, mate. So that's all that matters.
yeah,
That's
I'll
it.
take it.
That's it. Mick, how you doing, mate? How'd your team fare?
Oh, it wasn't terrible. I had 1975 with only 18 warm bodies on field, so it was 2 from 4 wins in leagues. But I was trying to preserve trades this week, so I didn't make any, or just the one this week, and it did cost me a little bit in the leagues. But it's going to free me up a few post round 15 trades as well to suit me up for the rest of the season. So not terrible.
Nice one. I managed to get a 4 out of the 6 league win, which was good, and fighting back in the league, we're all in. So I'm like Richmond, 3 on the trot from last, turning my way up the ladder. So we'll get into our usual Garys and Nathans. Mike, I'll start with you, mate. If any of you have the Bont, I'm tipping he's probably going to be your Gary. Let's see how we go.
Yeah, look, and I won't steal other people's thunder. I did have the Bont as my Gary, but I'll share with you my Nathan, and if I can just sort of find my picture of him here, is young Eddie Ford. I do like to bash the rookies. Our loyal followers will know I like to bash the rookies, but 11 possessions on the weekend, 1 kick, 10 handballs, a total of 30 metres gained by the youngster. And if you look at his heat map, he spent 99% of the game in one tiny area of grass at Marvel. And that's not good enough, mate. You need to get out, get yourself dirty, get the footy. So Eddie, lift, mate.
I do like that his name's 40 and his number's 40. I think that's a good little thing there. So Dan, what about you, mate? Who you got for us this week?
Yeah, so look, my Gary, like everyone's Gary is probably Bond, but I'm gonna give a bit of a light to Lockie Neal, who yet again turned out a big score, 144. I think it's only his second or third big score since I've actually had him in. So just give him a little pump up, just as we lead into finals. Hopefully, you can turn out a few of those. And my Nathan for this week would be a guy that I threatened to trade the last time he scored this poorly. Jason Horne-Francis. Stick around to see if he actually gets the chop.
Yes, looking forward to that as always. I did watch him on Thursday. He's a pretty angry man, that's for sure. So, Mick, what about you, mate? Who you got for us this week?
Yeah, 3 for 3 for this fella. He's I'm putting him up there. After that 169, he deserves to be on one of our backgrounds. And I'm going to give the Nathan to another North rookie. Unfortunately for North, Wardlaw, after his 94 last week, only dished out about a 40 years or 46 this week. Just not good enough for a bloke who cost us 190k. So I want to see him lift and with his buy coming up, I'm going to hold on to him, which is going to cost me this week. But we need to see better numbers out of that bloke going forward.
That's it. Well, my Gary is Josh Dunkley, who had the VC on the Friday night. It's always good when you don't have to worry about your captain. I would have said the Bont, except I don't have him, so it's probably why my team's no good. And my Nathan is this man. You probably wouldn't even know who he is. So when you have top 18 players score, he actually scored less than 4 of my buy players because he scored -1. That's Ryan England. So it's pretty skillful to
Surely
actually
you get a zero. Don't you get a
what?
zero?
So I think
You get
I
a
don't know.
zero for surely.
Well, well, no, because I think it had to be scoring players, so the others technically didn't play. So I did have to copy his -1 as part of my 18. So it's special when my captain Dawson still scored more than him. So Ryan, trailing a bit of Lawrence Angwin gets me the Nathan this week. We'll have a look, as we always do, at the rookies on offer this week. And if there's anything out there at this stage of the season, we're probably obviously not looking for too many. Maybe just to fill the bench and get a bit more cash. I might start with you, Mick. Any rookies fancying your eye this week?
Really none. It's really few and far between this week. Just looking at some of these break evens on some of these players. I think quite a few was brought in Mullen, because he was 102k priced. And now he's gone and done an adductor, and he's not really sure of his recovery time. So I can't really see too many other options out there. There's blokes who have played their 2 games, and I've got a few of them still sitting on my team, like Charlie Constable and the other young fella from Brisbane was Harry Sharp. So he's guys like that are just not getting games. Like, they've played their 2, they're ready they're on the bubble, ready to go, but they're just not actually getting picked. So it's a really few and far between picks this week for the rookies.
That's it. So I think you're probably in that case, if you're wanting to downgrade and have someone playing, you're looking at blokes who have played 1 game. Dan, there's a few 1-gamers out there I think we could potentially consider.
Yeah, so there's 4 1-gamers that played, or 3 that played this weekend, and did quite well. So we had Jasper Fletcher for Brisbane, first game 63 points at 157k. Kai Lohman 146.5k, 62 points, and Sparkle Narkle for Port Adelaide. His first game over there, 230.8k, which is pretty pricey for a guy that scored 60 points. So the only one that I think is your boy, Mike. I think he's still worth a shout, because why else? Like, you'd play him, wouldn't you, if you picked him up in the mid-year draft?
Yeah, and look, I think, most SuperCoach, especially if you're going to be competing in finals, your side needs to be pretty much ready to go out of the bye rounds. And if you're needing to make that extra bit of cash to get one of your elite players on either line, at 102,000, Marich is your man. He'll be getting games. It's not the cash you're after. It's really the price that you're after. He could score you a 50, 60 in a bye round, but it's really trying that strategy to get your guns in if you haven't got them already. So I've actually brought him in this round with a strategy to bring in for next round to upgrade a couple.
Yeah, I think if you're just looking for one to go down, then it'd probably have to be him. I can't see Narkle getting many games as they head towards finals, if any. Junior Rioli was out. I think he probably sat out just so Narkle could have a game, to be honest, against his old side. He's not going to play much footy, I don't reckon. The other blokes, the Brisbane bloke, Sydney Fletcher, isn't he? That's right, mate. His dad was Brisbane. So who knows with them? I think you just wait until Thursday and teams are named and see how you go.
Yeah.
No,
I do recall, speaking of Quinton Narkle, Scott, that the Cats were a certainty on Thursday night. I didn't hear from you much over the weekend, so obviously the result didn't go your way.
Well, you reckon? Jesus, well done. We look good for a half. We're back. All right, you heard it here first. June 19. Dear. Cool. So not much out there for us. Let's lead into then our sort of strategy advice for the last of the 4 bye rounds. We've got the 6 sides with the bye this week: Carlton Giants, North, Port, Richmond Bulldogs, which is going to hurt a lot of us. Mike, I might start with you. How many are you looking at? Any advice for the people out there?
Yeah, my advice is just to log out of SuperCoach and come back next week, because that's what I'll be doing. Because unless my opponent's got 11 players, I'm in a bit of strife this coming week. So it was always going to be a write-off for me. But look, it's a good opportunity. Adelaide coming off the bye, especially if you don't have Dawson or Laird. Laird's about to skyrocket in price. So getting him, I think, around 650, 660. I think maybe
625, mate. 625.
625. There you go. I think that's actually a bargain, and he's really scoring consistently well now. Dawson's dropped a little bit, and he's in the top 6 defenders. So for me, if you want to bring players in, those 2 guys, if you haven't got them already, are ones to bring in this week to try and steal a win, perhaps.
Yeah, I guess you can look ahead and sort of see approximately how many players your opponent's got in the league you care about. But Dan, your thoughts on this week's buy and any others we should target to bring in?
No, I definitely agree with the Dawson sentiments. I think his break even's 128 this week. So if you don't do it this week, you probably have to do it next week before we start going back up again. And then just looking at my team, I'm in the position, similar position to Mike there. With I think I've got 16 scoring players, so not as bad as 11, but still not good enough really. All those North Carters that are sitting there throughout the team, your Wardlaws and your Eddie Fords in there, not getting a game this week, obviously because of the bye. So that's going to hurt me. I'm really just looking to start bringing in those players that have had their bye, which is every other team, obviously, apart from these 6. But yeah, there's too many players out for me this week, so I'm just going to wear that loss, but think about the bigger picture in the weeks to come by getting in a few of those players. We were talking about big scoring midfielders and things the other week, and so there's obviously Petrarca is up there, and then if you don't have Laird, try to target him. But then there's a couple of really good midfielders that are now having their bye as well. So Kelly and Libba come off and another couple of 100-point scores. So yeah, you're gonna have to hold off getting them for at least another week.
One conundrum, Scott, is it's been announced tonight. They dragged it out to tonight. Is that Sicily's appeal was upheld? So there's been a lot of people who have him in your side, and 3 weeks is a long time at this part of the season to maybe hold on to someone, especially if you're if you're nestled in the top 4, perhaps you can hold on to him. But otherwise, he who do you bring in if you don't have Dawson's? Caleb Daniel scoring very well down Houston. I know they got the bye around this week, but you need a strategy for him.
Yeah, I actually took the punt and thought that he wouldn't get off, and traded last week and brought Sinclair in for $80,000 less and helped me win 1 league. So I just assumed the AFL wouldn't let him get off. I couldn't, and then get that extra cash. So I've got a bit more in stock to make a couple of changes this week. Mick, what about you, mate? Looking ahead to the last of the bye rounds. I know you've said all along your team crap.
I pretty much planned all year long to have this as a write-off, and at best I'm going to have probably 14 players on field. I don't want to make any rash decisions in terms of trading out some of my rookies because they haven't quite hit their peak yet. But a couple of guys have. Like Will Phillips, he's up to 409,000 now. But he scored some really well in a few recent weeks. But his break even is at 85, which is 10 higher than his average. So he's right to go. Eddie Ford's an interesting one. He's only scored 30 this week, but his break even is still quite low at 31. So he could potentially make a bit more cash. That's good Wardlaw. So I don't want to make any silly decisions, and I'll get rid of Phillips and trade down for some extra cash so that I can use next week coming out of the bye rounds. But I could probably bring in another 2 primos this week with using all 4 of my trades, and that's using my last boost. So that's another might be a risky strategy. I've only got 1 boost left. So yeah, I will be riding this week off, but I just want to make sure I come out of the buys as strong as possible and not waste too many trades, because I think at best I'm going to have maybe 4, 5 coming out of the buys, and then that's tried to see me through the last 8 rounds, which is going to be a bit tricky, I think.
You just say you're going to have 4 or 5 trades left coming out of the buys.
I reckon I might, yeah. It could be as low as 4. It could be as high as 6 or 7, but it's looking more likely 4, I'd say. Maybe 5.
All right. So on that note, let's have a chat about how many trades we think we should have in an ideal world and how many we actually will have. Dan, I'll start with you. In an ideal world, a SuperCoach person, I'm looking for finals success. How many trades do you want with 16? There's like 9 rounds to go after this.
Yeah, I'm a bit perplexed with this. And I was having a chat with one of our followers, shout out, this week, and they were just saying, "Oh, but we've only got two players away before we field our team." It's like, yeah, but if you get one or two injuries, you don't have those trades. You could be in a really really difficult position. Look, I've got 10. What have I got? No, so I've got 13 trades left for this season. So I'm in that position where I can use 4 this week and still have 9 left for the 9 rounds, 1 per round, or I can sort of do a couple and then sit. I just think that you need them. I just remember a couple of years ago I got done when I had, I think, 2 trades left. Had a guy that wasn't playing, brought in Lockie Whitfield, who sputtered it up for 2 straight weeks, and it cost me not only my place in the top 100, but it also cost me the league win. So keep the trades. It's honestly, keep them.
Yeah, I reckon every single year I say to myself, however many rounds are left after the buys, that's how many trades I want. And I find myself, the years I've actually done really well, I've been on that. And the last couple of years, I haven't quite got to the line, sort of prelim losses. I've run out come prelim final weekend or even the week before. And yet there's the inevitable restings and injuries that I feel like we've been chasing our tails all year. I've got 10 left. It'll be about 8 after this week. So I'm not too far off where I wanted. But I guess it all depends on where your league position is, Mike. What are your thoughts? How many you got left?
Yeah, not many. I'm planning to bring. I'm planning to bring in those. I got 6 before this round starts. I'm meaning to spend a couple. But I tell you, I was sitting in the league that mattered. I was sitting in 19th place. It's all been trading out of desperation, just to try to climb up that little ladder. I don't want to give it away, so I might as well. I'm just throwing as many punches as I can until I'm knocked out, and that's all right. Like I've only got 2 places to fill in my side after these, so maybe I'll just. I haven't had any luck up until now, right? And that's why I didn't get rid of Sicily, because knowing my luck, he would have bloody got off after I traded him. Yeah, I want to get. I think I want to get Clary back when he comes back in, if his blood blister is has miraculously healed, and 1 or 2 others, man, 1 other, and then my team's done, barring injuries. So I assume I'm going to have a really good run with injuries, and I'll coast, got a bit of an unbeaten run.
So we're just not going to ask you. We just won't ask you about your trades for the next couple of weeks because you won't have any trades left, and that'll be great. That'll be great.
3 weeks time, maybe another 3 weeks time, maybe I don't come on that episode because I won't have anything value to add.
Well, I like though that I know you've only got 6 left, but you said you've only got a couple of players before your primo. I reckon I'm about 6 short still. So I don't know. I've been lucky with 3 bye wins. That's the only reason my side's half decent on the ladder. Otherwise, I'd be in 19th as well. So every year you aim for, you're pretty much full by the end of the buys, and half a dozen to 10 trades up your sleeve. Doesn't seem to happen this year. I think we've been more so than anything. Well, we say that every year, just trading to try and the amount of primos that we've traded out, it seems to be ridiculous. So best of luck to everyone out there. Hopefully you've got a few trades left. Hopefully you've been lucky with your primos and you don't have to make too many more to get your side. It's good to go. Any last minute buy advice from anyone? Otherwise we'll move on. Nice one.
Nothing
Good luck.
me.
Good luck to us all. All right, Dan, we're throwing to it. Dan's Rage Trade Corner. It's been you ranted about Clayton Oliver. I assume he's still in your side. Before you crap on, Dan, I'm gonna list some blokes and you tell us when they're in your side. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Well, all right. I'll get my side up. Yep.
Cool. Lockie Ash.
Ready. No, he's gone.
Bailey Dale.
He's gone.
James Warple.
He's gone.
Mitch Duncan.
He's gone.
Ruben Ginby.
Oh, he's gone.
Will Setterfield.
He's gone.
Will Ashcroft.
He's gone.
Yeah, Callum Mills, I know is gone. Bodie Ulund. Who's he?
He's just a Gold Coast rookie. He didn't play more than about, I think, 2 games, and so had to make way. So he's gone.
Darcy Wilmot, gone.
He's gone.
Jack Siebel is the question.
probably gone this week. I've not decided whether or not to turf him, but I think he scored 68. He scored 107 the week before. He's probably on the chopping block. It just goes back to what we were saying about having your team of premiums, and if I keep him, I call him a pseudo premium. I might just get away with it.
And you've still got Clayton Oliver, I assume.
I do. Even though he hasn't learnt to watch his feet.
That's all right. So I'm pretty impressed, actually, of all your rage trades that most of them have actually been traded out at some point, which is good. Who you got for us this week?
This guy was my Nathan. I'm gonna have to, I think I tentatively turfed him a couple of weeks ago, but I held on to him and he actually scored okay. But 41 this week in his team's absolute demolishing effort against the Cats. They were dismal. Just going through some of the stuff that he was involved with. He spent 50% in defensive half, 50% in the forward half, and he went at 50% disposal efficiency. So, you're never going to have a great game when you're kicking at 50%. I think honestly, most kids in Auskick could probably kick at 50%. He's made one tackle. He's playing in midfield. He made one tackle for the game. How can you just get one? I mean, in fairness, the entire Carlton team had one tackle last week. So I'll cut him a bit of slack, but no, he's just 4 turnovers. He had no score involvements.
Have you mentioned his name yet, by the way?
Yeah, who are you talking about?
It's like a bit of a mystery. You got to try and figure out who I'm talking about. Have a look through the stats. Jason Francis. You're gone. You're turfed. You're turfed.
Look, you better follow through. That's all I have to say.
He'll be there, and he's got to go. He's got to buy as well. So I need a scoring player. I think I'll get rid of him.
Can't believe I was looking back. You first wanted to rage trade him in round 6, mate. He survived 8 more rounds.
Yeah, he's lasted a lot longer than I thought he was going to. So that just goes to say a few things about the type of caliber of people that I've been turfing.
Yeah. All right. So we're looking ahead. Round 15, last of the bye rounds. Mick, I'll start with you, mate. I know you've given up on the week already, but you just never know. I assume you'll still have a crack at the captain, vice captain. What do you got for us?
I'll still have a crack, of course. I think it's you'd be silly not to. I think Petrarca on the Thursday night possibly
Doesn't score well against the Cats, mate.
Yeah, probably. Actually, probably more likely to go with Lockie Neal against the Kilda on the Friday, and lead him into I think Dawson maybe against the Collingwood or maybe Dacos. I'm not really quite sure. I'm hoping Lockie will just give me a solid 130 and then I can bank that. But I might actually be looking to bank something a bit higher this week because I'm really going to be struggling for warm bodies. But I think a lot of people are going to be in the same boat. So fingers crossed I can get maybe 1 or 2 legs across the line.
Mike, as the resident West Coast fan, players tend to score quite well against your beloved side. Are any Swans on the Saturday afternoon?
I thought I'd put the VC on the Pelican. He's due for a big one. Look. I think I don't have many Swans besides the Pelican sitting in my side, but I'm going to go Dunkley. He's scored over 130. How many? 5-6 weeks in a row. Playing on Friday night, and then if he doesn't meet those lofty heights, I also might play the man and have a look at who my opponent looks to VC, and if he's going Dunkley, I'll go Neal, and perhaps vice versa. Change that one at the last second and try and get a point of difference with my 11 players. But then I'm looking at a Laird, a Dawson, or a Dacos into Sunday if either of them fail. So
nice one. Anyone different for you, Dan?
Just want to shout out to Pelican as Mike did. 68 points on the weekend, not bad from the Pelican. He's still getting the intercept mark. Look, I'm sort of in that tricky position of every one of my go-to captains as having their bye round this week. So, look, I think I like the look of that Friday night matchup, St Kilda versus Brisbane. Dunkley's been a bit of a lock for a VC option. And then, as you said, Swanee's playing West Coast. Could be a chance for Errol Goulden to get back up into the rarefied air of his 156 points that he scored back to back. There's a few out there. I think the one that I would stay away from, and that I'm thinking I will stay away from, is Rory Laird or Dawson against Collingwood at the MCG. I just think that's the recipe for disaster. Picking a Crow against the Magpies at the moment, I just can't see them getting the points they need on that Sunday fixture.
I'm a bit disappointed that my man here, Angwin, hasn't got a game this week. Otherwise, doubling -1 would be tremendous. Like you guys, though, just I tend to, when I've got, if I'm one player different less than my opponent, I tend to really go left field with my vice captain option. So one they haven't got for sure, where it's Brayshaw or even Luke Ryan. Maybe he's due for a big 150. I don't know. So otherwise, yeah, we're going into some Adelaide or Collingwood players, and not Sicily because he's not playing. So there we have it. Any last minute thoughts, comments, guys, before we wrap things up for another week?
All good for me.
That's
Good,
it.
mate.
That's
See you
it.
next
Good luck,
week.
everyone.
Well, I reckon who's West Coast playing, Mike? They won't get a win. Mick, the Bombers, who they got?
Bombers 3 over there, so
Yeah, so
tight
they
one, I think.
won't get a win, and Geelong's playing Melbourne. We won't get a win. So Dan, your team might be the best of the four.
Yes. Go the
2
bye.
weeks in a row. Thanks everyone for joining us. Check out the Inner Sanctum's website and other YouTube shows, and we look forward to the 100 so of you joining us again next week. Have a good one, guys. Cheers.